Hey, Doug. Morning, Ken. Oof, that lighting is bad today. Most day traders, by the way, they trade in the morning. I was hoping my camera was going to be here by today, but do you know when he's coming in? I'm going to. There we go. Hey, BB.
Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing today? Let me turn the lights down a little bit. Get a little too much brightness here.
This seems brighter today for some reason.
The what?
It seems brighter today for some reason.
Yeah, it does.
Because my face is whitewashed today.
Your face is usually whitewashed.
Not this bad, though.
Let's take a look. No, not this bad. You're right, not that bad. Let me just brighten myself a little here. There we go. Let me mute myself, and then I could say hello to everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go. All right, let's see who's here. We've got Glenn, Adam, Ken, how are you there? Angie, Krish, how are you, Krish? Sunny inside. Yeah, I wish. A little cooler today. Nice early AM XLE play. Matt's glowing personality. Good morning, Robert. Mark. I'm just reading through the hellos and the greetings. Mark, how are you? Franco. BB, how are you? Yeah, thank God it's Friday. I could use a Friday. Todd, how are you? Gary, how are you? Petra, how are you? Doug, Dave, Brendan, Richard. This morning, I want to apologize. I got so Clyde. It was not my fault. It was Clyde's fault. It was always Clyde's fault, Matt. Clyde decided to send the wrong telegram. He put the wrong link in the message. So Cyrus Gallo, where is Cyrus? I didn't see him there. Todd, good morning. Sylvia, Richard, Brendan. I don't think I saw Cyrus. Are you here, Cyrus? Where are you? Dave, Doug, Petro, Gary. I don't. Oh, there he is. Hey, Cyrus. Cross is here. Rochelle, there you go. Ed, how are you, Ed? All right, let's talk a little bit about the market. I'm hoping that today's yeah, Clyde was being spiteful. He's ready for the week to be done. He is, Todd. He is ready for the week. I'm actually ready for the week to be done. It's been a long week, but my physical therapy, I went to my physical therapy, and we'll be starting in about 2 minutes yesterday. And it felt really sore afterwards. But you know what? Today, I was telling Matt that I actually feel like I'm making another upside move for the second time. So I'm very happy about that. Very, very happy about that. Good morning, DB Cooper, Anthony. And folks, I promised Rochelle that I'll go through those 5 stocks that we gave you guys seasonality for yesterday in the webinar, and I'll give you the options for them. So why don't we start with that? How about that? Just to show you that I'm a man of my word. Look at this, Matt. From 159 all the way to 157. I love this move. $2 move. He did. Well, and Clyde it's going to be a very interesting dynamic for the next 24 hours. My wife took my daughter back to Tampa in two different cars to help her move. I couldn't go because I can't lift anything. Thank God Almighty. So I didn't have to go. And I'm here with you guys. And the bottom line is that next 24 hours, I'm home alone with Clyde, my dogs and cats. So Cyrus says, I'm happy with Clyde performance. Well, he messed up this morning. He would send you the wrong video, but I resend it for you. I made up for it. All right. So can somebody give me one by one the ticker symbols of those 5 stocks that we gave you guys yesterday, and I will give you the options for them. Who would like to do that? All right. Let's start. All right. Let's start with AAL. Just do one at a time. Just do one at a time. All right. Let's start with AAL. We would be looking at the 9/15 expiration, and we would go to the $15 strike price, where the option is 66 cents right now. The second one is ALGN. For a line, we would buy the 360 call, and we would sell the 370 call. It wouldn't cost you all that much. 9/15 expiration. Next one, FTNT. Same thing, 9/15 expiration, and we would go to about $60 strike price. If no soup after $60, we're done. MKTX. $250 strike price to buy, $260 to sell. He's not going to post those in the thing. He's got other things he's doing right now. VRTX, you'll have to watch the replay. 9/15 expiration. We would be buying the 350 and selling the 360. Buying the 350, selling the 360. Right here. So, Rochelle, am I a man of my word? Well, there's a seasonality window. That was given to you on the website yesterday. But I will say this: do not hold any of them beyond the end of this month, which is pretty consistent with holding about 10 days. So I would say the end of. Oh, thank you, Dickens. I would say the end of the month. Yeah, end of the month. All right, I'll give you the AAL. No problem, Franco. 15 strike price. 15 strike price. Dickens just posted it, Todd. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the market. Now, is anybody surprised that we're going down? Shocked, surprised, dismayed? Looks like we're going to start coming up here a little bit, but the problem is the lows here are lower. See, if this was a higher high, that would be different. Yeah, way overdue. Look at QQQ. Not a time to be a hero right now. Right here. I wonder if it's going to go to the second mark here, but things are breaking down pretty good. Let's look at NVIDIA. Me too, Ken. Actually, me too. Not for a little while. We need to base out and have a climax. We haven't had that. China is putting a dark cloud over our head. I'm going to talk about them in a minute. And on top of that, you've got the Fed. Now, interestingly, nothing has changed with the Fed, but people are thinking, oh, they're not lowering rates, but they told us they're not going to lower rates. They told us this is going to last for a while, but people just don't want to believe it till it happens. So some stories. U.S. slaps tariffs on some China solar companies, but Jinko Solar avoids it. The U.S. is set to impose import duties on some solar panel makers that finish their products in Southeast Asia countries to illegally avoid tariffs on Chinese-made solar equipment. Bloomberg reported on Friday, in a decision opposed by buyers of solar panels that rely on cheap products made overseas. A U.S. Commerce Department probe found that units of Chinese companies, several companies, dodging tariffs on Chinese solar equipment by finishing their products in Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, Vietnam. Do you guys remember about 2.5 years ago, I said that a lot of Chinese companies are moving to Vietnam, and they're because Vietnam doesn't have the tariffs, and that's how they're bypassing all of this. I know I've mentioned it at least 3-4 times, and it was a few years ago. Remember, Rochelle? Remember, I specifically said Vietnam. I said Vietnam is rocking and rolling because a lot of the Chinese companies that are getting tariffs are moving there, and business as usual. It took the U.S. government another 2 years to figure that out. It's true. It's true. It's true. I mean, I'm reading it right here. The companies could face tariffs on solar cells and module. Wait till it happens with clothing companies. No problem. Thank you, Todd. Southeast Asia as high as 254% starting in June of 2024. BB remembers. Yeah, I said, hey, don't think. I said all of these sanctions are going to cause countries like Vietnam to get huge. I do recall you said Vietnam during the Trump era. Yeah, I said it was a couple of years ago, Ed. Yeah. Ken says Vietnam has been a target for low-priced labor for more than a decade. Yeah. But it's more than just Vietnam. It's Cambodia, Malaysia, Thailand, and Vietnam. All the, poor countries in Asia. Commerce Department concluded at least 3 companies were not trying to evade the duties and will not face expanded tariffs. Boviet Solar, Jinko, and Hanwha Q Cells. Robert says, I know when I was manufacturing, we were looking at lower costs getting out of. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. The second thing I wanted to talk about is more China. Guess I'm talking about China a lot today. So the world's second largest economy is in a predicament, and the property market stands as a heart of its troubles. Construction accounts for as much as a quarter of China's gross domestic product. That's quite a bit. But real estate reverberations are shacking up confidence, and many are afraid about knock-on effects for the overall economy. Housing sales, prices, and investments are falling, while a deflationary spiral threatens to fuel an even bigger disaster for a country that just experienced 3 years of strict zero COVID. That's what they're saying, right? The world's most indebted property developer, Evergrande, just filed for protection under Chapter 15 of the U.S. Bankruptcy Code. Evergrande slipped into a liquidity crisis in 2021 following government efforts to curb speculation in the sector. Currently has around $300 billion in liabilities. Another Chinese developer has also been in the spotlight after missing dollar-denominated debt payments, but the bigger fear here is the property crisis may be expanding from the private sector to companies with states backing. Meanwhile, China's central bank has stepped up to defend its currency following the latest series of weak economic data releases. The midpoint on the onshore yuan was set at 7.2 against the dollar overnight. Last decade, People's Bank of China has been cutting interest rates, and there has been talk about tax breaks and incentives. But many of these stimulus measures helped fuel China's rapid expansion and the real estate bubble in the first place. These are structural issues at play, such as slowing urbanization and shrinking population, meaning policymakers might have to prepare for an extended period of weaker growth. A go big or go home strategy might be the only way out of the cycle, with the government absorbing stored assets, but that could also be a challenge given deflationary risks, whether it would go far enough to restore investors' confidence. So to me, it doesn't look like China is getting out of this mess anytime soon. And it looks like if this continues, it's going to put a big hamper on the technology or the QQQ. See, I think last quarter, everybody was focused on the Fed and the US, but I think right now, everybody's focused on the tech sector and China as a whole. So let's talk a little bit about certain stocks that I'm liking right now and that are looking good. Get your pen, get your piece of paper out. We're going to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 stocks. KTB, this is a continuation play. Contour Brands. Looks like it's breaking out. I like the swing high right now. I like the fact that it's holding up so well in light of what we're seeing right now. 9:15 expiration is our go-to default. We don't want to be in this for more than 10 days. 50 strike price looks great from where I'm sitting, and it's got some open interest. Volume will come, but if it doesn't do anything in 10 days, just get out. 10 trading days, just get out of it. Next one is Murphy. We talked about, somebody asked me about Murphy yesterday, actually. Murphy's looking really good right now. You could see right here, it looks like it's got more upside. And I like energies. They're very friendly because they don't have a lot of exposure in terms of China. I mean, they do in a recessionary, but we're not quite there yet. One of the positive things that the Fed has been doing with their aggressive interest rate hikes is they're making the case for a hard downturn in the U.S. a lot smaller, which is good. 45 or 47.50, sweet spot, 9:15 expiration. Next one is XPO, more energy stocks. Look at that. Actually, this is a logistics company. Sorry, not transports. I got confused because it's part transports. I like the pullback it's showing. Sorry, I went to a pullback. I should have put this in the pullback column. This is a pullback. I like the RSI. I like where it is right now. I still think this is a pullback from the swing high. RSI hasn't been here in a while. I think it will start pulling back up. We got the 70 strike price here. 90, about 250, and go ahead and offset it with the 75. That's at $1. No, we can't list them in the chat. I'm too busy for listing them in the chat. You're gonna have to rewatch the replay that's posted in Telegram channel. Next one is AEO. Sorry about pulling a pullback with a continuation. Very similar, very strong swing. I think this is one of the first pullbacks we've had since down here. American Eagle. Take a look at this one, Matt. It looks pretty good from where I'm sitting, and it already is starting to come back up on momentum. Markets look like they want to turn around a little bit, actually. Not for too long, but they look like they want to turn around for a little bit. We've got the 16 strike price right here at 85, 86 right there. Looks really good over here. Now, we got pullbacks. Pullbacks, we got MOD. I was actually just looking at this in real time on Thinkorswim, and I really like how it's looking around here. I like how it's curling right here. I really do. So far, this is my, well, no, I can't really say that. I liked some of the stocks we've seen today. Modine, 9:15 expiration. We're going to the 40 strike price, and you can offset it with the 41 strike price. 45 strike price, not 41, 45 strike price. Yeah, I like this, and I like how it's filling this gap, and I think it's going to come back up. I don't know if it's going to make a swing high again from this bar, but I think it probably will try to come back to the 44.30 level. Next one, CME. Filled the gap, came down, RSI overdone, starting to come back. I think we're going to come back to the highs on CME. You're right, Richard. It's all about timing. The offset was 5 points away, Arturo. 5 strikes away. In this case, we like the 210 strike price. Yeah, don't go with the 200. Go with the 210. You can ask the folks here. They will give you, they're writing this down. So if you ask, they will. Don't ask me to repeat it, but ask somebody in there to repeat it, they will. All right, nice pullback. Looks like a nice reversal. You could see here that during the day, it picked up steam. I love to see things like this. I'm hoping it's going to continue moving in this direction as the day continues, but it looks like it's bottomed out. These are all, sorry, Lori, I didn't see your question. These are all calls so far. I don't have any puts today, actually. I don't have any puts today. Monday, I'll have puts. And don't miss Ask the Pros. It's going to be here at top of the hour. I'll be there as well, by the way. Matt, do you have a link for that?
Yep.
Perfect. 70 strike price. This is very cheap. It's only about 50 cents. Don't have to spend a lot of money for it. This is what I was talking about yesterday in Intuit. We used to get this when it was a cheaper stock, we used to get signals on it all the time. I think it's a little overdone right now. I think it's going to pull back to the 500 level. I'm skeptical that it's going to make a swing high. And you've got earnings in less than a week. Of course you do. 500 strike price to buy and 510 to sell. Yeah, kind of expensive, a little pricey. Next one is KKR. All right, 160. Let me just go to. Like this pullback, I think it's going to hold this level. If it breaks this level, it's going to break really hard, but I don't think it will. It's already oversold. It already had several sell days. I think it's going to try to come back up here and continue this channel that it's been building. Let's see what area the stock is in. Investment firm, equity, energy, infrastructure, real. So it's everything. They're just an investment firm. Of course, they'll go down when the market goes down. $60 strike price looks beautiful to me. Don't offset it with anything. Don't offset it with anything. A lot of opportunities for pullbacks. URI, United Rental. Notice not a lot of technology. Not a lot of technology. Nice pullback. Looks very similar to MOD. Very steep, already curving, rounded bottom, already curving right here, ready to take us higher again. I like this trade. I'm hoping that it's going to close near the upper end of the range. This is what I was talking about. Bounces down, hits sharp oversold levels, and then starts going higher as the day continues. It's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Perfect example. I like to see it close near the upper end of the range. Right here. And I think it'll go up to the 480 level. In this case, you want to buy the 470. It's pretty close to the money. And you want to sell the 480. Cost you about $4. Good trade over there. Next one, power. I would be buying the 210. Yeah, I would be buying the 210. And remember, if these options don't do much in the next few days, no soup. No soup at all. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, I like the to 210 right over here. Next one, CRC. Cyrus, because if you go to power, and you go to the options, and you go to the next expiration, that's the strike price right there. They don't have fives here. So they only have 210s and 220s. See that? That's why. Does that make sense, Cyrus? I want to make sure you understand. Well, we're not looking for it to go to 210, but I think if it goes to 205, the 210 will probably go up about 30 cents. You can do the 200. Here's what you could do, Cyrus. You can buy the 200, which will give you a delta of about 85, 90, and then you could sell the 210. That's a better way of dealing it. So you can buy the 200, sell the 210, you'll get more delta, and your costs will be about $4. I just don't see a 205 in there. So, you know. Next one is CRC. You like that option better? All right. Yeah, that's why I'm using first strike out of the money. There was no 205. I can't make it up if it doesn't exist. No problem. You too, Adam. I'll see you later. And if you have any questions, you can always send me an email. I didn't say get out in 2 days, Barbara. I did not say get out in 2 days. No. I never said get out in 2 days. I don't know what I said, but I didn't say get out in 2 days. So this stock, it was a very strong stock. 10-day, 10-day hold, exactly. Turning around right here. Looks like we're moving higher. I like the momentum levels, and I still think that we're bottoming out in the short term right now. But I'm very worried about China. I'm very concerned about China. It's like a moving target, you know? So right here, 55 strike price. It's perfect. Expiring in 28 days, and you have about 10 days to go. And last one, just look at the chart here. I'm more worried about China. Is a falling? Yeah. This stock looks great. Love the pullback. I love this. It looks very similar. What we're seeing now is very similar to this. See that? Very, very similar to this. And I think we may start coming up. And if you look at today's range, look at that. Bottom, a boom. A nice V reversal. So let's see here. Yeah, it does, Cyrus. It looks really good. And I don't think it has crazy expensive options either. Let's see. Yeah, you can get the 20 strike price for 45, 50 cents, which is really, 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 really good. Now those are all the ones I have for today, but I want to just take a look at a few things here. If you look at the SPY on a daily basis, it looks like we bottomed out, went up, and now we're bottomed again. I think this rally will hold. I don't know if we're going to revert back down. Fridays are very weird, and Friday is a big reversion day. It's not a really good trending day. As you get further into the week, markets tend to be more yo-yo-y. In other words, Monday, they tend to be more directional. Tuesday, they're a little less directional. Or actually, that's not true. Tuesday, they're the most directional. Oh, thank you, Dickens. That's very kind of you. Thank you for doing that. Thank you very much. And so as the week progresses, you want to look for the market to give you more less directional trades and more reversion to the mean trade. So if you're looking at breakout indicators would be most effective Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Actually, not Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, and Monday, you have the reversal. So always keep an eye on that. Very, very, very important. My big concern right now is that the S&P is going to break through this level. If we can hold this level, we've had, let's see, from 459 all the way to 431. It's taken a big market cap away. I'm hoping that this will bounce. My biggest problem is, and this is a big concern that I have, is we haven't seen any major pullbacks to the upside all the way from here. So the market isn't seeing any major catalysts yet, and we have earnings that are already over. So from where I'm sitting, we're not seeing a lot of strength, and that's a big, big problem. And also, if you look at my stock fetcher, which we'll look at right now, perfect timing, Matt.
Good.
Hmm?
Good.
Yeah. If you will see here that energy, healthcare, the Dow, retail, this is blue chips, blue chips, blue chips, blue chips. Consumer discretionary is now in the last spot on a cumulative basis. Technology, QQQ, communication, they're starting to come out. Lori says this is probably very basic, but can you define continuation and pullback? Of course, Lori. Continuation was somebody doesn't have a pause. It just continues moving up. A pullback is when something pauses and takes a little dip, or sometimes just pauses and then goes up. It's a good question. It's a good question. And if you're new here, beginners are welcome. My point here is that all of the technology stuff, the technology, the consumer discretionary, the QQQ, the communication, they're all, remember I told you, remember when communication was up here, I said it's going to come down? Watch my replays. Watch my replays from the last few weeks. Everything that I've predicted has happened. Everything I predicted has happened. And remember, I drew these areas on the Dow, on the bond market for you guys. Yep, they were at the top. Remember who drew this line for you? I did. And I also drew this one. So if we go down to here, which we may, because the Fed's already talking about a 30-40% chance of raising rates in November. That's going to start coming into the market cap. All right, Matt, start with the chart that you sent me this morning and then take it from here. Hey, that's great, Stephen. That's cool. I'm glad to hear that. Very cool. Very cool. Go ahead and share your screen, Matt. Take it away.
Yep. Here we go. There is the week ahead. Give you a second to look at it, but it's pretty strong. Communication, tech, healthcare, utilities, industrials kind of has a dip on Tuesday, but it's probably just noise. Consumer discretionary is very strong, positive almost the whole week. You can see the sectors, SPY, QQQ, Dow, all do the same thing. They're pretty strong most of the week till Friday. Seems to be a sell-off pretty across the board, except for basic materials. So I'll leave it here. 10 more seconds. Grab it if you want it. And then I'm going to move on to today's setups. Oh, look, Roger, did you see that about GIS?
Yeah, I did.
Pretty sweet. Okay, moving on to today.
And also AMC and CHK. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for saying that.
All right, to the short side we go. For your sectors, we don't have nothing today. We have at least one. Got an industrials sneaking in there, 76%, 17 trades, 5.6 profit factor to the downside. And you've also got, just squeaking in there, got consumer discretionary also. But it's right there, 70%. It's not too strong. I hate using strong. The trend is not very, I don't know. I'll figure out how I want to say that in the future. But basically, short side bias a little bit, but not too much. On the long side, we are really starting to cool off over here as well. Tech is in the range, but the profit factor is low. Utilities are long. That's okay. 76. Same thing with energy. 76. Profit factors are acceptable. All right. As far as top setup, sorry, I was reading the chat there. Seems to be something going on. Ken said out, so I was concerned, but I get it. I think. All right, top setups to the short side. Again, we'll ignore all of these. We've got AAL, 12 trades, 100% win rate. Can't argue with that. So we got Prudential, very strong 15 trades. This is all to the short side. Also real estate. It's a real estate ETF. That's usually the one I try to check. This one and then IGV, if I'm not mistaken. IGV is real estate, right? I'm going to go with yes. For solar, not too bad. That's an ETF. There you go. Mike, it's like the same people write those things. Well, you might have based on the chart, but based on the seasonality, it's different. So, for example, with AAL, in order for it to override the technical analysis, you would want to see some of its buddies up here, which I do not see. Maybe Delta, United, any of those, but don't see them. But they could, well, no, that's United Airlines right there. And Love, there's Delta. Yeah, they're up there. There's just a lot of on the list. So, yep. Airlines do look bearish overall. Your top setups on the long side, they are a lot less. There's a lot less than the short side. Intap, NVIDIA, the techs have been dominating this week. There's FFIV. Starting to see a couple financials though. Overall, very broad. You've got healthcare, consumer staple, utility, tech, energy, basic materials, financials, healthcare. It's almost all of them. Only thing you don't see is real estate. Maybe peak, but there's Ken, but profit factor is low. All right. And on your 10-day hold, come on. Here's what you're looking at. Your strongest 10-day holds, technology still, big time. That's kind of an oddball on the real estate. And then we're pretty mixed besides that, but tech keeps coming back up. And it's been that way for a few days. Well, the seasonality says it is, Cyrus. I think the technical analysis has a different story. And let's look at your weakest. Quite a few consumer staples popping up. There's real estate. That's the euro. And not too much though, because after pretty much really after there, they're not as relevant. So kind of there and above.
Somebody asked me about utilities. It's actually a really good question. I don't know if whether utilities have bottomed or not is dependent on the bond market. I think for the short term they have. For the medium term, hard to say. And I'm giving you an honest answer as I can.
You got anything else, Roger?
That's it. That's all I've got. I'll be in the Ask the Pros room in about 21 minutes if anybody wants to join us there. And I hope you guys do. Thanks. Bye, everyone.
There's the link. Have a great weekend, everyone.